Some of the best things about the Mario sports titles are the cutscenes. The cutscenes are great videos that showcase all these different characters throughout the Mushroom Kingdom coming together to play a sport. And the best cutscenes are normally the intros of the sports games. Well, today, we're looking at all the intros to all the Mario sports titles to see which intro was the best. So for the intros, most of the old sports titles from the older games aren't going to have intros, and obviously there are 3 other games that don't have intros as well. Those games are Mario Tennis Open, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Now, with that said, we will be including the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games because they are sports and they do have some really good intros sometimes, so they will be included in the list as well. Also, it's hard to get lots of these intros, so most of the clips come from MarioZenium on YouTube. Look in the link in the description down below in order to check out his channel. But once again, guys, let's go back for our goal. We got very close last time, getting 85 subscribers in one video. Let's try to get 100 subs on this video. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like and also subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo all the time. Without further ado, let's go into our list of the top 17 Mario Sports intros. That was the intro. That was it. That's number 17, guys. Mario Golf World Tour thankfully has something as its intro instead of just Mario and Sonic briefly going by the screen, but at least, you know, it's something. It shows a couple courses and a couple players hitting the ball and celebrating, and then it just shows a globe, I guess, to show online play for some weird reason as an intro, and then it just pans out to Mario again. I don't know, it's weird. Not the greatest, but, you know, number 16. So, okay, we finally move on to a proper intro, but the Sochi Olympic Games just looks a little off to me. I don't know if you guys see it as well, but the character models almost look like just in-game models forced into a cutscene. They don't look real polished, and it just kind of just doesn't look like an actual pre-rendered cutscene at all. It just looks like they used the in-game models and just, you know, forced something to happen within the gameplay. I don't know, it just doesn't look as clean as other, you know, cutscenes from other sports games, especially the earlier entries. But, you know what, it's not bad. At least it shows the characters actually competing and doing things and actually being a full-fledged cutscene for the first time. So, for that, it does do at least something. Mario Sports Superstars may not be the greatest sports game on the 3DS or on any console, but the intro isn't too bad. It shows all the sports in action and high-intensity action, and it does this little cool newspaper section to cut out to the next sport, which is actually pretty cool. It shows like the events happening live in the newspaper and then the players, you know, cutting into playing the actual sport, which is actually pretty cool. It shows some cool scenery, the characters running, and everything is in-game. Nothing is pre-rendered cutscenes, so, you know, it's not the best because of that, but still, it's really good. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Beijing was the very first Mario and Sonic game, and this was just amazing to see the 2 completely different IPs just play alongside each other. Even though it's absolutely stupid to see Mario running against Sonic. Who thought of that? I mean, even Bowser was on the line. Dr. Egg... It doesn't make sense, but, you know, it looks really good. It's all pre-rendered, and it shows all these characters from the Mario universe and the Sonic universe competing, and it's really well done, even though, once again, Dr. Eggman is doing running events for some reason in his full garb. But with that aside, it's really cool. It shows Mario characters actually in the stands and helping, such as with the cameras and, you know, filming everything, but it's actually a really good cutscene and a really good intro to the very first Mario and Sonic game. The first Mario Strikers was a solid overall intro. It showed all the characters competing at high intensity, characters getting zapped, hit with items, and even chain chomps jumping onto the field, and it just showed characters doing different things with the way and styles that they played soccer, and I thought it was actually really cool. It's a really unique kind of spin on soccer if you've ever played Strikers, where the characters are actually just pummeling each other and, playing hardcore, but it gets even more intense later on, as I'm sure you guys know already. But this was a solid intro for sure. The Mario Sports Mix intro isn't something to completely lose your mind over, but it's cool how all the sports transition to one another as they're throwing balls and hitting hockey pucks and stuff. It's actually pretty cool. But with that said, it's just a nice looking trailer. The nice renders, pop out with all white background. I love that aesthetic and it just looks right. And of course, this one had to be a little higher because Mario absolutely shreds my dude Bowser's ankles. See, now this is a lot better of an intro. This time they're actually doing something that they can all compete in. They're not gonna beat each other in a race because Sonic is on the freaking starting line. I don't understand. Anyways, this time they're snowboarding and doing winter, Olympic things, skiing and all that stuff, ice skating, and it just looks really cool. I think it looks a lot better than the first one, and it's a lot more touched up, and it just makes a lot more sense overall. You also have a lot more different characters to look at and stuff from the Mario series and the Sonic series, and it's a lot more pace, and it shows a lot more sports within the intros with a lot more characters playing said sports. And I just like the Winter Olympics a lot better, so yes, I'm a little biased, but come on, this is a lot better than the first one. I mean, Bowser is bobsledding with his son, Metal Sonic is ice skating with Shadow, and Mario and Sonic even team up against Wario and Dr. Eggman, and it should be Bowser, but you know what, it's still good, it just works so well. It's a great intro. Mario Tennis Aces takes us back to the good old classic actual story that they used to have in the intros. And this story is Wario and Waluigi find a magic racket. They then show up late to an intense tennis match between Mario, Peach, and Bowser and his son. And they come in, Luigi gets greedy and wants to take the racket to look at it or something, I don't know, he's weird, and they all get corrupted and a giant tornado takes over the tennis court. It's very cinematic looking and very cool when you see the spirit just come out of the tennis racket and consume Wario, Waluigi, and Luigi, and then they vanish from the courts, leaving a cloud of gray all over the courts, and you can even see the audience kind of try to run away and stuff. It's actually really well made, and it was just a really well made intro. Now, the voice acting isn't the greatest because, they just doesn't sound right when Peach and Mario yell things. Their mouth doesn't even really sync up with what they're saying. But besides that, it's actually a pretty good trailer. You can see the aftermath of everything from the tornado and everybody kind of cleaning up. It's just really well made.
Luigi!
Luigi!
The Tokyo Olympic Games also had that weird situation where it just didn't look like it was pre-made renders, it was just like in-game renders forced into a cutscene, but with that said, it still was really, really good. I mean, everything just looked right. Mario and Sonic fighting each other was actually pretty cool. You had a lot more characters this time around, and of course, Mario and Sonic are still racing each other on foot, which I still don't understand. But this game had a very interesting mode, which they actually included within the intro, which was going back into classic mode. Yes, the characters could actually turn into their classic versions for classic sports, which is actually pretty daggone cool, and it even shows the characters jump through this wormhole and turn into their 8-bit sprites and even race each other then, which is still stupid, but it's cool to see, nevertheless. They also show some iconic areas from recent games, such as the Mario Odyssey Mushroom Kingdom, and of course the giant white metropolis city from Sonic Forces. This version was a lot better than the last, because the last one, even though it had a cool little scene where they went into 8 bits, this time, this is all full rendered cutscenes. All these characters are full rendered just for the intro and for the intro alone, and it just looks so much cleaner. But they also have a transition at the end where the characters are doing dream events, which are unique Olympic events that may not be realistic at all. But they show Mario and friends running around space, which was themed after Mario Galaxy and Battle Rock, which is really cool, and also Grand Metropolis from Sonic Heroes of everything, and it looks very well made in this pre-rendered cutscene. They did a very good job with this, and I was very proud to see Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games finally have something very special to start the game. Superstar Baseball has a pre-rendered cutscene, and for a GameCube game, it actually is really good. It's very simple. It's players and their teams playing against other players and other teams, and showing cool little baseball plays that everybody can do, and it ends with Mario hitting a home run to win the game, which is also pretty daggone cool. It also has funny scenes like Donkey Kong getting bit in the butt by a chain chomp, or Wario trying to blow the ball foul from Diddy Kong's bunt. It's just really cool stuff, and it just all is a lot of humor and cool scenes all put together. And let me include that this is probably my favorite music ever played out of any of the intros. Just listen to it. I thought Super Sluggers was just slightly better. I liked how there was a giant island full of different baseball parks that the players could go play at, and there was a lot more competing going on, a lot more crazy things happening on the field, like water coming out of a manhole squirting Wario, and even a giant ice block freezing Toad. But with all that said, they also had some really cool scenes of the players playing. Yoshi diving after ball and chucking it back in, and Luigi getting absolutely pummeled, but finally seeing that he caught the ball and getting the last out of the game. It was actually a really cool scene to see overall, and I just felt like it was a core baseball intro. It didn't have anything too wacky and nonsensical, and it just made sense, and it was, you know, a really good intro overall. Mario Golf Super Rush is a beautifully made intro, and that makes me happy for the future of the series of just different Mario sports titles, because they can still make a really good intro. The whole scene is based around Battle Golf, where all the players are trying to make different holes in order to rack up their hole total. And everybody's pretty much competing against each other using special moves and using items and fighting each other, and Wario and Waluigi are back at it with their antics to try to mess up Mario and Bowser. The whole battle is really just Mario and Bowser fighting each other in order to get to that final hole, and everybody else is kind of just smacking into each other and causing havoc upon the golf course. Obviously Mario finally gets his ball in to win the game, but it's just a cool scene overall with Wario and his jetpack and all the players using special moves, and especially King Bob-omb joining the roster this time. He just looks so cool out there running around with his Bob-ombs carrying him to the goal and eventually rolling down a hill and detonating on top of Bowser. It's just a really good, fun intro, and it shows us that Camelot can still make really good openings to their games. I think we can all agree that Striker's Charge was a different type of Mario sports game. Everybody was just ruthless in this game. It was pretty much the, actual American football that we never got, because everyone's tackling each other, knocking each other down, slamming each other on the turf, and even just slamming each other on electric fences. And I mean, there's not even turf. They're playing on like metal slates of ground. I don't even know what's going on in this game. It's so weird, but it's a really good intro. Mario and Bowser falling down into the battlefield is just one of the greatest things I've ever seen in a Mario sports title. The music's intense and every character is using specials, and just Diddy Kong's getting blown off into a distant tornado. There's just so much going on, and it is a really good intro, and it finishes off with all the characters using their special finishing move, which just looks creepy and super intense at the same time. It's a really good intro, and I don't really see how they're ever going to make a game this edgy again. I don't know what Nintendo was on during this age, but man, they were feeling some sort of way. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour was just the perfect intro, man. I mean, everybody's just playing golf, having a good time. It wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, and of course it had its crazy antics. Wario and Waluigi were of course up to no good, trying their best to beat the bros. The comedy is up too. They're getting sand all over each other, or Waluigi missing like 10 putts in a row, and Wario hitting a golf ball so far ends up hitting Bowser in the eye, and he comes out chasing them all the way back to his castle, which is hilarious, and then Mario ending up hitting the bomb in Bowser's hand with the golf ball, blowing them all up. It's just a great scene. There's humor, there's just so much going on, and it's such a beautifully written scene. As far as the GameCube goes, this is how long ago that Toadstool Tour was actually in play, and it's just such an absolutely great intro. There's really not much else they could do to top this off, except for obviously our number one. Coming in at number one as the best Mario Sports intro, we have Mario Power Tennis for the Nintendo GameCube. This was just perfection. It was actually probably the longest intro yet, but man, it was so good. It has an entire story arc with Wario and Waluigi losing in their tournament game against Mario and Luigi, so they decide to graffiti Mario and Luigi on the tournament board, and they get in trouble by some new type of characters that we have never even seen in the Mario universe, chasing them, and we can see all types of characters in the background, such as Piantas and Nokis and stuff from Mario Sunshine, which is just awesome, by the way. But it's a cool scene of them getting chased by these officers, and then finally finding a secret area where Bowser was hiding, and they get trained by Bowser. They go on a little training montage and eventually cause havoc in the championship game, or right before the championship game, where they shoot bombs at the bros, and it turns into like a mini little boss battle adventure game thing. Bowser is also raining from above with his blimp, but the bros racket the bombs right back at Wario and Waluigi in order to bring them down and also bring down Bowser's hot air balloon. It's an intro that not only has gameplay of the sport, but a serious moment, many different comedy moments, and just an all-around really good, well-made intro, and probably the best intro that they have ever made. Camelot really went crazy with this one. And that's why Mario Power Tennis is my favorite intro out of all the Mario Sports titles. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this list. Would you have moved any of these around? And what is your favorite intro of a Mario Sports title? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And like always, remember to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo and Mario Sports in general. But also, remember, hit that subscribe button to help us reach our 100 sub goal for this video. It really does help out a lot, guys, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.